Welcome to another episode of Might I Game. In this multi-part episode, we won't be reviewing a certain game as a whole. Instead, we'll be only looking at a certain game's characters. Now, this game is Super Smash Bros. For the N64, and each character in the game comes from a separate entire video game franchise of their own. What we will be analyzing about these characters is just how accurately the developers made each trait of them show in this game in which they've all been gathered. Those traits will be compared to traits that show in each of their own certain titles. How they look, how they sound, their personality traits, the music associated with them, and or the structure of the fighting stages that represent areas in their own games, etc. So let's sit down and take the time to look these such things over in this 13-part episode regarding each character from the year 1999's Super Smash Bros. Rules to these particular segments go as follows. Number 1. Character models from only N64 titles released before Smash Bros. 64. With the exception of certain N64 Pokemon games, since that's what I own Pokemon-wise, and the Pokemon from those games perfectly resemble the Pokemon from other media that has been out since well before Smash Bros. So they'll do. An exception also applies to games on consoles released most recently before N64, preferably a TV console. Those such games will also have to do if there was no game released for the N64 before this preferred cutoff date, featuring whichever characters. Which brings me to rule number 2, no handhelds. There are plenty of games for TV consoles that did come out before the release of Smash Bros. 64 that showcase most of the characters' aspects well enough. The original Game Boy and Game Boy Color have had quality games for them featuring characters seen in Super Smash Bros., and I may mention and or show one or a few if it's surely called for some certain aspect that I might mention, though I feel that it will be enough to focus on comparing the qualities of the versions of each of these characters from this greatly popular N64 game, mainly to those of the versions of the characters from their own titles released for consoles whose picture and sound are presented through a television set.